These fantastic approaches. The business card of owners. Can I steal that for Australia? Finland? That's fantastic. So I'm Melina and I'm here with my colleague Anthony from the Apex body for cooperatives in Australia, and it's really thrilling to be here to share all of these ideas. I'd like to thank the friends and colleagues in the audience I can see who've been so generous with sharing their ideas. I pay homage to the ideas that we've taken on board in Australia. So we're going to show 4 campaigns. They're very short, to demonstrate the approach that we're taking in Australia. So we've been really proud to be a member of the pilot project, and we really support the objectives that have been discussed today about amplifying the message. The message is explaining the characteristics of our cooperative difference, and we believe that the convergence that we're starting to see, and I hope you see that in our campaigns, it's actually about learning from each other, and it's helping to amplify the overall message. And I'd just like to reiterate what Kaylee was saying about the awareness challenge. And I'm amazed at how many organisations this morning have demonstrated statistics which echo ours. So in Australia, 8 in 10 members of 8 in 10 Australians are members of at least one cooperative or mutually owned organisation. Only 3 in 10. So there's that figure that was Finland's, I think, know about this, and this is despite the longevity of the businesses and their ubiquity in the economy. That's why I'm personally in favour of the subversive campaign of mid-counties, which is to indoctrinate children as early as possible while their brains are plastic. So, the sweet little mid-counties cooperatives, don't worry, they're really subversive campaigners, so good on you. And the other thing we're seeing this morning is the power of storytelling. And this is really what it's about for us in Australia, and the everyday work. It's got to be everyday work. It's got to be omni-channel work. So in Australia, our approach has been informed by our particular history, the characteristics of the sector, and the resources we've had. So I'll just start with showing a little bit about who we are in Oz. Thank you. So we were established in 2013, so we're the baby Apex organisation here today, I'm sure. And that came off the back of the International Year of Cooperatives. In Australia, we used the International Year as a collaborative brand campaign, if you like, and that's when we had the coin and stamp series and a book and some other things. And that was the beginning of the journey of trying to get organisations that are in the cooperative and mutual sector to work together to explain their difference, but also to know what they were themselves. So we sort of started with that idea of know thyself. So we've primarily been formed to improve awareness of the important contribution of cooperatives and mutuals in the Australian economy and in society. So in fact, the Business Council of Cooperatives and Mutuals is itself a collaborative brand exercise. So, thanks, Ant. The first challenge in Australia has been for us to map the sector and find a common language and simple messages to talk about ourselves. So, and also to know who we were talking to. So we're talking to these 80% of Australians who are members. So we have coined a new nomenclature in Australia, which is CMEs, which stands for Cooperative and Mutual Enterprises, which we're really thrilled to see is starting to be used widely in the Australian media and with political representatives, and it pops up in research, etc. So we want to be just as well known as SMEs, small and medium enterprises, or PLCs, publicly listed companies, or charities. So when you think of the economy, you actually start to think, where are the CMEs? And the little guy that you saw jumping into frame is a media soundbite that we've coined that's about being the ninja economy, i.e. we're hiding in plain sight, but we pack a punch. And that characterisation of our place in the economy has really helped people understand why you can be ubiquitous and invisible at the same time. So what we've tried to do with little resources, rather than jumping straight into a collaborative campaign, which requires, we felt, quite deep resources to get a very high quality product, we have aimed at leveraging off the investments that our members make in their own campaigns and particularly their commercials, to get them to use some common messages and start to see these embedded in those campaigns. So Anne's going to show you these 4 examples, and I hope you can see some of the common messages coming through. Thanks.
We'll
find out. So the first one we're going to show you is a infographic that was released last week for our National Mutual Economy Report, which was is our national version of the World Co-op Monitor that was discussed earlier this morning.
Cooperative and mutual enterprises, or CMEs, are member-owned businesses that provide benefits back to their members and the community. CMEs play a vital role in our economy. Australians bank with co-ops, shop with them, and get health insurance through them. Co-ops also feed us, power us, build our homes, and look after us when we get older. They're an essential part of Australian life, yet they remain relatively unknown. 8 in 10 Australians are members of co-ops and mutuals, but most of us don't even know it. The cooperative and mutual sector is the ninja economy of Australia, performing strongly, yet hiding in plain sight. In 2017, 4 million Australians watched the AFL Grand Final, perhaps without knowing that most AFL clubs are owned by their supporter members. There are over 2,000 active co-ops and mutuals in Australia, employing thousands of people and supporting many more businesses. In 2017, the sector accounted for $140 billion in economic activity. That's 8% of national GDP, making it the second largest sector in Australia. The CME sector also continues to grow. The past 5 years has seen steady growth in the financial performance across the sector. Co-ops and mutuals are household names and brands. They're also heavy hitters in the Australian economy with significant annual turnover and activity. The largest CME industries are agriculture, followed by health insurance, then banking. The Business Council of Cooperatives and Mutuals is proud to represent CMEs in Australia. We work hard to raise awareness of this vital part of our economy. After all, we believe co-ops and mutuals are the future.
So the next one is from the credit union movement, and it's a call to action for consumers to switch to a credit union or mutual bank.
With so much talk about the major banks, there's never been a better time to check out the competition. There are 80 customer-owned banking institutions right across Australia. Mutual banks, credit unions and building societies. A strong and safe alternative to the big banks. More than 4 million very happy Australian customers already enjoy great rates and market-leading service with customer-owned banking. Find out what you're missing out on at checkoutthecompetition.com.au.
Authorised by MD Qatari, Code Sydney.
So the next one is from health insurance. HCF is our biggest mutual health insurer with 10% of the market. And this is a really slick production that was in TV and also cinema.
Imagine a world where health comes first. As Australia's largest not-for-profit health fund, we're working towards making it happen. Putting people before profits and making your access to quality health cover as easy as possible. HCF, health comes first.
And lastly, we have one from CBH, and we have some CBH reps here today. And this one is actually talking to the membership of the co-op, which is important as well to actually explain to the members the value the co-op is delivering at the moment, what it would be like if the co-op wasn't there, because sometimes I think the members might not understand that if you don't communicate.
At CBH, our purpose is clear. We're here to create and return value to growers. There are many ways that we do this, such as keeping supply chain fees low, investing in the network, competitive pricing, and developing new markets for your grain. And when we have a good year and make a surplus beyond our capital requirements, we return that value straight back to you with rebates. We do this because we are a cooperative, so the value comes to you and not to shareholders. Each year, we have up to 3 rebates available, depending on our performance for that year. Revenue generated through our storage and handling services is first invested so that we can improve and maintain the network and keep fees low. If there are funds left over, usually after a big harvest, we return it to you as an operations rebate, which you can earn on each ton you've delivered to CBH. Marketing and trading generate revenue through trading and selling your grain here in Australia and to international customers. Once we have covered our costs and any future capital requirements, we can rebate surplus revenue if you sold your grain to us. No other grain marketer does this. Lastly, our investments such as Interflower and Blue Lake Milling strengthen the cooperative by providing alternative revenue streams. When these investments generate a return, we can either reinvest it for future growth or give it back to you through an investment rebate, lowering the cost of each tonne you've delivered to us. Rebates are determined at the end of each financial year when we know how the business has performed, and then they are available for you to use. You can choose to offset your rebates against different CBH storage and handling charges, including freight. And if you are planning family succession or retirement, you will have the option to do a one-off transfer or cash out of your unused rebates. Rebates are linked to your patronage and significantly reduce your costs when you do business with us, keeping you internationally competitive. To find out more, visit www.cbh.com.au.